What up, everybody? What up, everybody? What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Everybody, let's talk about it. What up, everybody? It's April Dawn. Let's talk about it. This is P Valley Season 1, Episode 3. All right, I'm loving this show more and more every week. It just keeps it getting better and better. They're doing a lot of character development, and I really appreciate that about this show, so I don't want to waste any time. Let's go ahead and get started. So this episode starts off with Mercedes doing a lap dance for what looks like to be a coach, maybe a college coach or something like that, and he seems to be married, and he's trying to sell her this dream about how he's going to take care of her, and he's going to put her up in a condo, and I'm sure she gets offers like this all the time, and it's just a testament to show you how men will try to sell you a dream child. He got a whole wife talking about he gonna put her in the skybox, and so those Giuseppes don't get dirty or something he said, and she was like, sir, I don't think you're good for it in real life. Basically give me my coin and let me go on about my business. Okay, he does, and you can see that as soon as she walks away, he's immediately like mesmerized by this other girl. In like 2.5 seconds he on to the next one. Then we see Autumn and Gidget. They are shopping in the beauty supply looking for wigs. Looks like Autumn wants to change her look up, or Heidi, or whatever we calling this hoe this week, okay, LaShonda, whatever she is. She looking through all the different wigs, and Gidget picks out a blonde wig for her, and she puts on the wig, and she seems to like it. This is gonna be her new little attitude, okay? At the same time, we also see Andre looking at those pictures once again that he's took of Autumn, and looking at the files from the, the Promised Land casino that he has on a computer. Also getting a phone call at the same time. It's from a private number, and it's one of the brothers or one of somebody. He's telling him, yeah, we're all good. I got the blueprints. They look great. Check your inbox. Autumn, with her new wig on, working the crowd, kind of like going through the motions of being a regular stripper, living that lifestyle, being drunk, being sloppy. I love how they have Autumn in the same 2 or 3 outfits. Like, that hoe ain't got too many variations on outfits because she ain't got that much money. She got that white t-shirt and that shorts, baby. And she got that blue outfit she had on the first night. I like how they keep recycling it and make it, like, realistic. Like, she really ain't got no money like that. You see her making around just being a drunk bitch, basically. It's really sad, actually. It was good to see that she is being friendly, though, with some of the girls. You know what I'm saying? At least she's getting along with somebody. Autumn and Clifford talking in the office, and Mercedes walks by, and she sees them, and she kind of scoffs. Now, she thinks they're getting close for reasons, other reasons, superficial reasons, which is not true. The reason why they're talking is because Uncle Clifford wants the information that he sent her out there to get, basically. He tells him, listen, if you want this ID, you're going to have to give me the information. And Autumn is like, well, I called him, but he didn't answer the phone, and he didn't call me back. I left a voicemail. And so she thinks that's all that Uncle Clifford needs, but Uncle Clifford is like, baby, you need to give me some more tea, honey. I don't know what you're gonna do, but you ain't getting no ID without the tea. Now we see Andre on a construction site with the mayor, and the mayor is drinking and talking, and he says he remembered him, and he remembered when he left, and now that he's bringing this casino to Chatty Chucalina. That's what the name of the place is, Chucalina. Now that he's bringing this casino to Chucalina, that he knows that he remembered his people, So apparently, Andre is from this town. He grew up in this town with his grandmother, or he used to be there with his grandmother. I don't know where his mom and daddy is. And we'll find out later that the mayor is his godfather. So they're walking through this construction site because they're building a park. So what Andre questions him on, basically, he tells him, well, first Andre tells him that Corbin wants to lease the land instead of selling it. But basically, the mayor has taken a kickback from the brothers to help him win the election. He told them that they would sell the land outright, okay? That they would have to be a straight sale. It couldn't be a lease. He tells Andre, well, Andre was like, that was a kickback, and he was like, well, you didn't have no problem with the people from the casino giving us hundreds of thousands of dollars to build this park, the park that they're in. And the park is going to be named after the mayor. And he was like, well, don't you think it's kind of funky to name it after you? Like, how does that look, the optics? Because it was supposed to be a good faith shown from the casino builders that they're serious about putting the plantation, basically, the casino in that town or whatever. So that's why they're building the park, but it looked kind of backwards for you to be putting your name on it. Well, why wouldn't you want the first black mayor's name, in the park or whatever? It's going to be a great thing. And this is how things work in the South. this is how it works in the Delta. You know what I mean? It's always been this way. And Andre seems to be reluctant about everything that's going on. So what he tells him further is that we have to keep the city council on lock, because one brother owns this company, one brother is, you know, got control of this or whatever. They have control of different things in the town. You know how they go. And so he's telling him, we're trying to keep this, they're trying to keep it to a city council vote and not go to a citywide vote, because if they go to a citywide vote, the Bible thumpers are not going to want to have this casino, and they're going to vote it straight out. So they got to keep it on the low and keep it quiet so that the city council can just pass it and everybody can just, you know, get their check and go into their house, basically. So it's the end of one night. Like I said, Autumn comes out, and Diamond and Big L are out there, and they out there joking and laughing and stuff. It was nice to see them joking and laughing for a change. And Big L is like, do you need an escort with an umbrella? You know, he tried to shoot his shot a little bit, and, you know, Diamond was like, nah, she good. Although I don't think that Diamond F with Autumn at all. He don't mess with her at all, but he does have a little bit of respect for her. It seems like they have created a rapport with each other, because she came out, he gave her a cigarette, like he know that she can handle herself and she don't really need him. So he was like, gave her the, you know, the head nod and walked away. So I was like, okay, well, they have a rapport with each other. Maybe they're not friends, or he know he ain't finna try to deal with her no type of way, but you know, he know that she cool, and you know, they have a little bit of respect for each other. I can deal with that. While she's standing out there, she gets a text from Andre. We can see that Andre has been texting her. He texts her shit like, have a blessed day. I said, not have a blessed day. Not have a blessed day, sir. Not a blessed day, Andre. Then he texts him then he texts her a memoji of himself like winking at her. I was like, this dude is so corny. And then she also gets a text from the place where she was making that money transfer last week, and they're telling her that she have to bring her government ID and she have to pick the money up by a certain amount of time. So she wasn't gonna respond to Andre, but after she saw that text, she was like, let me get to it, bitch, and get this money. Okay, so I'll get this information so I can get my ID. So next thing we see, them are in the diner, and they're sitting there talking. You know, she eating like a homeless person. And I'm like, didn't you just make $1,000 the other night? Like, why you eating like that? So anyway, she eating like a homeless person. They sitting in the restaurant talking. And y'all, it's just something about, like I said, the way the accents, like the lady who plays Autumn, she's British, or she from the UK or whatever. So, you know, she have a British accent. And like, it's just so much. We have sayings and things, how we turn, you know, words in the South, and there's a dialect to how we speak, but it's not like we speak like we're slaves. Like, we don't speak broken English, if that makes sense. We speak English, but we don't talk like they're talking. They put like 20 on 10. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot. It's not that deep, y'all. But they're talking, and, you know, just regular small talk. She brings up the casino, and she tells him, well, why is it so quiet? And he's like, well, you know, the deal is not finished yet. And he's just really not at liberty to speak about these things. And then this old man turns around and asks if they're a couple, and he talks about, well, Autumn says, yes, we're just passing through town. And he's like, oh, okay, well, if you want to see, you know, some history, you should go up to the Mounds. The Mounds is some historical place, apparently, and it's, you know, you should go there and visit. And how the man is describing the Mounds, he's telling this story about the Indians and how they travel wherever the stick was. And, you know, if somebody died, they carried the person on their back and all this type of stuff, and carrying death around with you everywhere you go, is what he was saying. And she was having a flashback, you know, to what happened. And so we got a little bit more, you know, of a flash of what happened with the flood and the water. You could kind of hear it swishing around in her head. And then it breaks it up because the girls come into the diner. And so this is Mercedes, Gidget, and Miss Mississippi, or Keyshawn. And so they come on in, and, you know, they see him there, and they like, oh, girl, we see you trying to get a regular, put our food on his tab. So, you know, they sit down, and he jumps up like, all right, I'm about to go. I'm going to pay for y'all food. Y'all have a nice night or whatever. So when he leaves, Autumn says, it's innocent, and she tells him that she wants to go to the Mounds, and he like, okay, cool, I'll text you. Well, I'll respond. You know, the girls is like, hey, girl. So she seemed like she cool with Keyshawn and with Gidget, but she still don't fuck with Mercedes like that, which I don't know why. Like I said, at this point, you know what I'm saying, Mercedes done tried to reach out to her. Like, she don't really mess with the girl, so I don't even know why, like, you accused her of doing something that she didn't do last. I don't know. But anyway, she don't mess with Mercedes, so she get up with a little stank attitude, honey, and walk out. And I just wanted to say that Autumn is still correcting people, okay? When she was in the wig shop, the girl said, look at you, Gecko. And she said, oh, you mean chameleon? Girl, this is why nobody don't like your ass, okay? You know, sometimes I had to tell my students, baby, This is why nobody don't want to play with you, because you do stuff that's unnecessary. Just let that lady say gecko. It wasn't going to hurt you. You know what I'm saying? But you got to correct a bitch. That's why nobody don't like your ass now. Next morning, we back at the cotton field, and it looks like Corbin is out there picking cotton, or he out there plowing the cotton. So as he's rolling forward, we see Uncle Clifford, and Mama has on a antebellum piece of Southern Belle costume on that was giving me life everlasting, okay? And I was here for it. I was 100% in attendance for it. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? It was everything. And so apparently, I think Corbin and Uncle Clifford got some secrets, honey, because the way Uncle Clifford said, I don't tell nothing, basically like these lips stay closed. The way Corbin looked at him, or the way Corbin looked at her, I was like, maybe did y'all have a little thing going on back then when Corbin was trying to figure it out? But the biggest secret that Corbin had was that he was the bastard son of this man who owned this plantation, or the son, probably the son of who owned the plantation down the line of, you know, racism. You know what I'm saying? So he kept that secret for him. They've been knowing each other since they was kids, and he was like, so you lying to me? You know, you're not telling me what's going on. And he kind of runs it down to him. I want to lease the land. I want to get that money. I want to get that private school money, that money, nigga. I don't want to just give it all away, because the white boys have basically spent all their inheritance, so they hard up for money. So they want to sell it because they want the money, because they've spent all their money. You know, Uncle Clifford is excited because she thinks that it's going to be, you know, a club across from the casino. But what she doesn't realize is that they're going to get rid of the pink, or they're going to, you know, buy that land and get rid of the pink and build another pink, or, you know, it's not going to be a part of the property that at all. So, you know, they're sitting there thinking, man, we're going to get this money. We about to make this coin. You know, we lease this land. We're going to do it. 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 You know what I'm saying? But it's not what they think it's going to be. Now, when he left, he told him, make sure you get some sunscreen, because we don't want you getting black out here. Baby, I died, because one thing I know is that sunscreen do not protect you from not getting black. You're going to get black. If you go in the sun, you're going to get dark skin. If you got that melanin, it's going to pop. Okay, I'm telling you, sunscreen or not, the melanin always going to pop, baby. Then we see Patricia at church. She's singing, she's going off, she's imagining herself being in the pulpit preaching. So we think she's preaching for real, but she's just imagining herself preaching. She's not really preaching in real life. And so Mercedes comes in, and she's like, you know, neighbor. She walk in, she said, turn to your neighbor. She walks in, and she tells her, you know, basically she needs that money that she said she needed. And she was like, well, what you gonna need that money for? What you gonna do with it? And she kind of says, she says, well, you know, basically saying, you taught me. Don't tell these hoes what you gonna do, you know, just show them, let them watch and see what you gonna do. And she's like, oh, this retirement, you know, thing is really real. And she's like, yeah, it's really real, like I'm serious. And she's like, okay, well, I'll cut the check tomorrow. Sometimes, boy, I don't think that the money is there. I'm just gonna say that the money ain't there. Okay, so and I really think now, I think the pastor has spent the money. I don't think the mama has spent the money, because I think she think the money's still there. So she tell her, I'm gonna cut the check tomorrow. Cool. So she runs up there and hugs her mama. I know some people didn't really understand that. I felt like, you know, even though she fucked up, even though she messed up, that's still your mama at the end of the day. I hate to say this kind of stuff, but, you know, because people have a right to, you know, get rid of your family members if they trash. But you know what I'm saying? Her mama got a hold over her, and, you know, she wants her mother approval. And, you know, Mercedes has already stated that she has morals. She ain't never had to lower her morals for none of these men. So I think that she has morality, and, you know, she has an issue with what she does for a living, but she knows she's trying to make money. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, she wants her mother's approval at the end of the day, and so she hugged her mother or whatever. Now we see Mercedes looking at a video of her girls that apparently they're posting these videos of them twerking, having some type of twerk contest, best 20 twerkers or some crap, and they're in their uniform, so she's really upset about it. And then we see her going off on the girls, you know, making them do the squats or whatever, and fussing at them about having their images on videos. And one girl is like, you know, the patriarchy, we should be able to express our sexuality, blah, 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 blah. She like, girl, you don't want no pictures of you on the internet like this, period. And one of the girls is like, you do. You know that was gonna happen, okay? You knew that was gonna happen sooner or later in a small town where everybody know you a stripper. You know one of the little girls was gonna try you. And she was like, but I'm getting paid for mine, okay? You out here shaking your tail for free. Now what? Do 50 toe touches. And then the girl had something to say, and she was like, do 70. I was like, well, Mercedes don't play. Now we see the girls. This is the Trinity. This is Mercedes, Gidget, and Keyshawn. They are all practicing their moves for the show later on tonight. And Keyshawn has some trouble because her wrist is hurting, probably because she done got snatched by that Negro, and she has to get down and go to the back and fix, and get it together. So Diamond is in the back, and he helps her, do the wound. He puts some pepper on it and some alcohol, and then he talks about how he was in Iraq. So now we know that he was a soldier, okay? And he said something about a bullet being in your head. Like, don't get me wrong, Diamond is fine as hell, baby. I could just jump on his back. But, baby, he went through some traumatic issues, and I don't know if I would do that because, he turned from the dudes was laughing at me, and it worked, except for when, like, you got a bullet in your head, and I was like, that was intense. Okay, that turned really quick. That escalated pretty quickly. And he tells her, when she gonna stop falling. Basically, when you gonna stop dealing with that nigga and get a real one. Okay, when you gonna get with a real nigga. All right. So they gazed into each other's eyes for a moment, and it was cute. But then the baby started crying, and she gotta go take care of the baby. He eats something and throw it away like, damn, I be missing my opportunities. He seems like he's a tough guy, but he's a shy guy as well, because he like her, and you see that he ain't told her one time, I like you. You know what I mean? He offered to kill a nigga, and then he said, when you gonna stop falling? But he can't even just say, hey, girl, I really like you. You know what I mean? So he a shy guy. He a softie on the inside. Then we see Miss Mississippi in the dressing room. Everybody's getting ready for the night. She's putting on her Instagram, and the baby starts crying, so she has to go tend to the baby, and she's trying to find somebody to hold on to the baby so that she can, finish her post. Nobody won't do it, so she goes up to Autumn, and Autumn takes the baby, and she's holding the baby, and she starts to have a flashback again. This time we see more of the flashback. We can see her strapping her baby into a car seat. We can see her, it's raining. We see she has blood on her shirt. It looks like she's trying to get away from something. If we remember before, somebody was holding a gun to her head and beating her up, so I'm sure the blood is from that, and she was trying to get away. It looks like putting a girl in a car and get in the car, but it looks like maybe the flood got to the car before she could get in and drive away or whatever, because we see the baby legs underwater. I don't know if the baby died, child. It's just sad, okay? And so she gives her baby back to her. Then we see her at the bar getting drunk. So she's getting drunk. She's drinking all over the place. She's sloppy to the point where the bartender doesn't give her any more drinks. She tell her, you need to chill out. You need to. And then she go to somebody else to ask them to buy her a drink. I'm like, girl, you're doing too much. And then the show starts. So we see the Trinity do their thing, mama. They are on the pole. They are, doing all type of tricks, standing on top of each other. It's amazing. It's, like the Cirque du Soleil, okay? And Autumn is amazed by this. She's astounded by this. This is mesmerizing to her. So much so that she walks her drunk ass up on the stage, okay? Like, baby, you just gonna walk up on the stage, girl. Who said that? Who said that? She just walk up on the stage and start twirling around the pole on the floor. She fall down one time because she's sloppy. Okay, and so then she gets on the pole and start moving around, and then she starts to climb the pole, right? So she climbing the pole to the top, and they do the little trick with the three girls where they all lay out and stuff, but then she falls down. When she's coming down, she falls a little bit, but Mercedes kind of saves her by jumping on top of her and like dancing on top of her. So she kind of saves her from looking crazy. So when they get back to the back, she's like, bitch, if you ever, get on my pole again, I will beat your ass on sight. Okay, you got me messed up. Autumn is standing right
there with a cry like this, so why you yawn? What's your problem?
She was like, my problem is I don't want to dance with drunk hoes, okay? So if you're going to be an alcoholic, fine, do it on somebody else's time, but don't be climbing on my pole because you could get hurt doing something like that. She said, you're not going to hurt me. She was like, well, why do you care? Bitch, I don't care, okay? I just don't want you on my pole. The Mercedes does care because she told her you need to go home and take care of yourself. Like, what we find out about Mercedes later on makes a whole lot of sense because she gives that to me. I mean, she gives me stern mother, okay? So, like, I don't think she cares about her like our friend, but you know what I mean? Like, damn, girl, we can see you going through something. We need for you to handle that because ain't nobody trying to get hurt because you got emotional issues, okay? Lil Murda roll up to the school. Apparently, the DJ for the club goes to a private school. He's still in high school. Make it make sense, Jesus? Okay, but he rolls up to get him, and they go listen to some music. I just love Lil Murda. Every week, I just love him more and more, okay? So, anywho, they go listen to some music, and the little dude is like, listen, your beats need some knock. You got to do this. He started talking about salad and putting the salad together with the romaine and this and that. The other girl, he was talking in circles. All he was really saying to me was like, you need a winner, okay? and you found one. Do you want to come to my mama house? She cooking tonight. And Murda was like, that's what's up. Okay, so they went to the mama house, and I guess they're going to make some music. You see Autumn and Andre, they are at the mound. So they go on their little date or whatever. So they go up there, they're taking pictures, and they're talking to each other. And he said he used to feel like paradise when he lived there with his grandmother. And he's talking about how the casino is going to revitalize the tourism in that town. And Autumn asked him, well, what about the people that live here already? He hasn't thought about that. So he is a Captain Save-A-Ho, but he is trying to save the whole town, but he hasn't fully thought this all the way through, because it's going to displace the people and the culture that's been there for so many years. You're going to destroy it by, just destroying everything or whatever. They go to the hotel and they get it popping. Okay, so they getting it popping. They about to get it, get it on or whatever. Do the nasty. And they don't have a condom. I was like, you was really about to have sex with this girl with no condom on. A rando that you met at a strip club with no condom on, and you got a whole wife. I cannot. His wife's name is Brittany too, by the way. She seemed like she's very nice. Okay, she seems like a very nice girl. Anywho, she makes him go get a condom, and while he's down getting a condom, she goes on a computer and she finds the files for the casino. So she seems pleased with herself. She sends all this stuff, in an email. She's just emailing all of it, and then she finds the picture of herself, and then she like, whoa, is he crazy? Okay, but maybe I need to leave. And so by the time he gets back, she's already gone, and she leaves the picture up of herself, so he knows that she's seen, what's in that computer. What was funny was Andre was going to get that condom, and he was like, y'all sell condoms down here? And the man was like, no, but they do have Bibles in your room. I saw that ring in 2.2 seconds, y'all, last week. I was like, nah, that ain't that nigga girlfriend, that's his wife. Okay, now we at the prayer group with the pastor, and the pastor is going out of town, and Miss Patrice thinks that she gonna be able to get in that pulpit and preach, but little do she know he has chosen somebody else to preach in his place. And she protests by saying basically the man is boring, everybody gonna be asleep, she can only do so much. The preacher gonna have to do the other half, and this man be putting everybody to sleep. And the pastor tells her, listen, that women are important to the church, they're the backbone of the church, but they have to defer to their elders, because the man tried to take a shot at her like she is a hoe or whatever, and she like, hey, look, don't throw the first stone. I feel bad for her and for people like that who go to church and want to experience, non-judgment. You let go of the past. You not that person no more. Like Doniva say, I don't live there no more. Okay, you don't live there no more. So and then you got people that's bringing it up, and you can't even progress like you thought you was gonna go forward in the church. So I think that Mama is gonna end up pulling back from the church because she's not getting what she wants. Okay, I don't know if she want to do it for the glory or just to be up in front of people. I don't know, but she ain't getting what she want, honey. I don't know what's gonna happen with that whole situation. I'm kind of with that one, with that church and that money, honey. Then we see Autumn going to the club. She passes Uncle Clifford right up, okay, and he's like, wait, he can't even get a word out before she passes him up. And then we see the DJ roll up, and he like, oh snap, I ain't know your mama, was bringing you up here or whatever. And he was like, that ain't my mama. And so she walks up to the car, and it's Lil Murda, and she's like, hey, you coming in? And Murda was like, nah, I'm not coming in, shawty. I ain't coming in tonight. I was like, he looked it good right there, okay? I was like, he looked it cute right there. Come on, boy. So yeah, I see it for them. Like, I want them to get together, okay? I was like, Uncle Clifford was so cute. She was like, you could tell her she had got a little quick high, a little fever. Had came over, sis. I was like, get it, sis. Oh, and I did notice that he kind of looked around and saw there was other people out there. That's why he said, well, you need to go ahead and get out of here. They trying to keep it on the low. Now, I fully realize that if they do get together, they ain't going to be publicly together. You know what I mean? It's going to be on the low. All right, we got Salt and Pepper in the club. They doing a little performance. That's Keyshawn and Gidget. They on the pole doing their little double team, double men twin routine. It was very cute. It was real cute or whatever. And they little old school hip hop track. I thought it was real cute. And then Keyshawn has a regular that comes in. This is her anesthesiologist. She says that likes to watch her sleep. I was like, wow, he's probably a necrophiliac. That's really weird. Okay, and he has his roles, and they go on to the back. And then we see what's her name, Gidget's boyfriend. He comes in and she runs and jumps on him, so we know that's not a person, a regular. That's her actual boyfriend. And then in the champagne room, they trying to get it in or whatever, and Clifford busts in there and interrupts them, and is basically telling the guy, so this is the guy who had them holding the oxy. So they typically don't hold oxy, they typically just hold weed. Okay, so Uncle Clifford had an issue with the oxy because he's like, that's serious. Like, I hold your weed for you, but I ain't trying to hold hold all of this, and I'm only gonna do it this time, not doing it anymore. And the dude is like, okay, that's fine. So he gets up, he leaves, he gets his money, and then Gidget asks for some of the oxy. She says, oh, it's for Keyshawn because her arm is hurting, but he's like, well, I hope it's not for your mama. So, but I think it is actually for the girl mama. So I guess we'll find out a little bit more about Gidget later on down the line. Autumn and Uncle Clifford are in the room and they're going over the blueprints for the casino, and they realize that the pink is, you know, they have something where the pink is supposed to be. Okay, so like they realize that they're going to be, you know, cast out. Basically, ain't gonna be no pink. Autumn gets her ID back, and then her phone is ringing, and it's Andre. And so Clifford takes the phone and he texts him basically to come up to the club and meet him at this certain room, and here's the password. And he gives the phone back to her, and he tells her, I need one more thing from you. We see that Mercedes sees her dance troupe girls are at a party on Instagram, and they're getting whipped cream poured in their mouth and all on them. So she's very upset. She pulls up to the party. She goes inside and is like, everybody get up out of here. Okay, y'all know where y'all going, but y'all got to get the hell up out of here. So I'm like, she know these people. She know this house. And so she stops the one girl and is like, hey, where you going? This is your house. Okay, so we come to realize that this is her daughter, and apparently Mercedes had an affair with the married man or something, because this is their house and they're living lavish, honey. So they living good. So the daughter says something to her about, you know, she go back and forth with her daughter, and the daughter says, well, at least if I get pregnant, I won't leave my daughter, or I won't give away my daughter or whatever like you did. Okay, or I won't give me away like you did. So she did something, whatever she said, it let us know that that's her daughter. Okay, she runs upstairs, and the mama is like, listen, I told Oscar, Clifford, whatever his name was, whenever he died, I would take care of his children. I would do right by his kids. She has custody of the daughter. So this is Mercedes' child, but Mercedes doesn't have custody of her for whatever reason. And you know, she's basically, the mom tells her, I don't want her to be on the dance team no more, because we need to refocus this energy on something else, like volunteer work, you know, whatever. But she's so worried about her body. She always on Instagram, you know, and it's being on the dance troupe that has caused this. And Mercedes obviously doesn't want her off the team, because she says that's the only time she gets to see with her. But what I didn't understand was, why couldn't y'all work out another time for you to see him? The lady seems, I don't know if the lady has a problem with Mercedes. I mean, obviously, if she slept with her husband, she would have a problem. But, you know, really, you should have a problem with your dead husband. But you know what I'm saying. I can see why she has a problem with Mercedes, but that's her daughter. You know what I mean? Like, you would think she would say, okay, I don't want her to be on the dance troupe, but we're going to do X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? To try to make it work, but it doesn't seem like they have that kind of relationship, because Mercedes is like, well, you have the custody, so you know what I mean? Basically, it's up to you. I can't really say nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I felt bad for Mercedes in that moment, and I want to know the backstory as to what, you know, happened with her and her daughter. And layers, honey, layers. I'm here for the layers, okay? I love this character development. I'm really getting into it. Back at the club, Andre has walked into the room. He has given the password. He has gone into the paradise room, and he thinks he's going to talk to Autumn, but when it turns around, it's Uncle Clifford, looking fabulous, might I add. So Uncle Clifford asks Andre about the casino and what's going on with the casino. He says, you better tell me something. And Andre's like, well, I can't talk about this stuff. It's confidential or whatever. And he was like, well, you don't have to tell me everything, but you need to tell me something. Basically, he's saying, go back and tell them I'm not going nowhere. And he's like, child, he said some slave shit like, they got one bucket in the pail in the roof. It's 2 buckets in a quarter. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I just disseminated from that. You don't own this club, nigga. You talking about you ain't going nowhere. You don't own this club. Y'all barely making it every month. Basically, that's what I delineated. I'm not sure if that's what actually was said. It was some confusion on my part, okay? Because these people be talking. Child, I ain't never heard nobody talk like this from Mississippi, okay? He says, you might be right, but you can have some of this water because you a thirsty nigga. Now show him the door. I was like, uh-oh. Show him the door, boo. As he's walking out, Miss Mississippi see him walking out because, you know, she plays sleeping. So, you know, I like the club because it's like things happen and like several people can see from their perspective what happened or whatever. I like that about this show too. And he walks out of the club. As he's walking out, he's calling his godfather, the mayor, okay, and telling him, hey, listen, we got a problem. I need to talk to you. Then we see Autumn at the telecheck place, picking up her money with her ID, and she smiles directly into the camera. So, like I told y'all, she a scammer. She launder money, something she does that's criminal, okay? And Autumn is way smarter than any of us think that she is. So once again, it was a great show. I loved it. It was good. Like I said, character development, I'm loving that. I love the fact that this show is directed by all women and it was written by all women. It just shows you how powerful women are when they tell their own stories. It's not just a one-dimensional stripper story. All these strippers are actual people. All the people are actual people, not just the women, the men. Their characters are getting fleshed out, and I'm here for that 100%. Now, this season is only 8 episodes, I think, y'all, so it's not going to be with us too much longer, but hopefully they will get renewed, and they definitely probably gonna get renewed and picked up, and we'll have a longer season the next season. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts about this video. If you want to follow me on social media, I keep forgetting to put this on it, my tag on there, but it's at Watch Dawn of A. That's on Instagram, at Watch Dawn of OFA. I will try to put that on this video at some point. It might not be right now, it might be later, who knows. But let me know your thoughts, okay? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video with all your friends, and I will holler at you guys.